trace a bitmap in Inkscape. So what you can do is, for if you have your image, if you don't know how to get the image to your page, you just go to File and then go to Import, and then you can select your image. So now that we have our image, for us to trace it, we go to Path and then Trace Bitmap. So when you select that, this pops up. Now there are different options that you can choose. You can either use the single scan or the multiple scan. The single scan normally gives black and white traces, and the multiple scan you can have color. So let's go through it and see how it's going to be. There are these things you can choose from. You can choose brightness cut off, you can choose edge detection, color quantization, auto trace. But let's go through it for you to see how each one of them will. We start with the first one. So for you to be able to do a trace, you have to first of all select whatever you want to trace. You can select it by using this select tool here, and then after selecting, you choose which type of scan you want. So if we have the single scan and we have the brightness of, you can have a look at how it will be scanned by going to updates. Shows you how. If you see here, this is not really full here, so you can play around and increase this a bit. If you increase this a bit and then you do updates again, you see that it did the full this thing. So what you need to update is the brightness threshold. Now let's go to the next. In the single scan, we have edge detection. So if you choose edge detection, if you update, this is what you get. If you like what you see, you just go to OK, and then what comes is overlays it on what is traced. So this is what we got from the other one. Let's continue and go through the others. Now let's choose in whichever form. If you like it, you just go to OK, and then you can pick it from here. Now let's look at the color quantization in the category of single scan. You have to always select the object that you want to scan, then you come here. Maybe I close the window and do it again. So we have here, we go back. You can also go to the trace bitmap. When you right click and you come here, it's the same thing. So then when I'm here, since my image is selected, if I do scan, I do updates. Okay, we are in color. This is what you get. If you think you can manipulate this number here, and then it will be changing. You can also invert the image. That is, the white part, the black part becomes white, and the white part becomes black. So yes, that's how it is. If you like it and you go to OK, you can have that. Now let's go through the others. We now are auto trace. If we update with auto trace, let me close this thing and start again, because I'm recording, sometimes it doesn't function very well. Now let's see here, we have this. We are in auto trace. We do updates. We did not see anything. Let's do OK. Oh yes, it was not so visible. So this is what it gave us. You can play around with this, with the error threshold, to make it fall or so, if you like this better. Now the last one we want to do is center line trace, auto trace. Let's see what will happen if I do. Oh yes, the object, whatever the bitmap that you want should always be selected. Now we go to here again, it's okay. Sorry, I close this for the time being. This is what you get from that I don't know, but I've not had any use of that anyway, but there should be a use, or else they wouldn't have programmed it. Now let's look at the next option, path. We go to trace bitmap, and then we want to try the multiple scan. So the multiple scan, always check whether your image is selected. So mine is selected. We go to multiple scan. Let's give it a shot and update it and see. So this is what you get when you do multiple scan. You can change these values here to see whether it suits you or not. If you like it, you just press OK. Now let's look at the next one. Let's look at colors. Colors, we do an update. You see, with colors, it gives us the colors. Normally multiple scan, you get some colors. So we go to OK, and then this is what we get. Now one question that you might be wondering is, why would somebody want to even at all trace something? Maybe the one answer is that this image here is something like a photo. It could be a JPEG, or it could be a PNG, and I want to change it to a vector image. So if you want to work with vector images, you have to go through this to be able to trace something. And look here, if you want to manipulate parts of this, because you've changed it to a vector image, you can work with the node tool. If you come here, you can see, if you see the small dots there, you can manipulate whatever you've scanned. So you can move things up and down a bit so that you can change things. That's also a useful thing in case you want to manipulate something. I mean, mine is just something very little, it's just a cup, but if you have some object that you want to trace it, so that you manipulate it, then this is very useful. Okay, now we continue with our thing. We did not go through all. We've done the multiple scan with colors. Let's go to the gray. We go to gray and you do an update. Yes, you see my problem, it was not working because I had not selected the image. So you always have to select your image. You go to multiple scan, and then we had gray, we do updates. So this is what you get. The last one we want to look at is the multiple scan. That the multiple scan auto trace slower. That's the last entry there. Let's see, that takes a bit of time for it to be traced. We do an update, but we just go on and trace it. There you go, then it's traced here, and then that's what it did. So that's how to use the trace, that's how to trace bitmap in Inkscape 1.0. Thank you very much for watching. Please help me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. I'll be doing more videos on Inkscape and other tools soon. Thank you. Bye.